Hey guys, so it's really late, but I promised that I would make this video for a few people. And so this video is basically, I hope that I'm gonna try to look into the camera correctly, but this video is basically for anyone who is interested in weight loss surgery and you don't know how to go about it. So basically I'll start off with my journey started when I was about 21, and actually, like, I was 20, and my husband was in the military, and we were living in Virginia, and he had TRICARE, and we had our daughter Leilani. Leilani was about 1, and so we had TRICARE standard because there's different ones you could have. I believe we had TRICARE standard. It's been so long ago, I forget the differences between the two, but one of them is where you go to only military doctors, and then the other one is where you go to whatever doctor that you want or whatever. But I'll just say this, a disclaimer: I'm not a doctor, and also I'm only giving this information based off of my experience and because I've been asked to give this information, and I felt that it'd be easier to make a video versus just respond in a message. It's just easier. And so basically I've always struggled with my weight, and I've tried to lose weight many times, and I've been successful in losing weight but never successful in maintaining. So that's kind of my ultimate goal this time, is to maintain. So basically, I struggled with my weight most of my life. Prior to getting pregnant with Leilani, I had lost weight, and when I was pregnant with her, I think I was 165, and then I got all the way up to 212. I had never been in the 200s before. I went on this really extreme diet called HCG, which I documented almost every day of my weight loss journey on there. It was really extreme. 500 calories a day. It works, but of course I didn't keep it off. That was like 11 years ago. So with that diet, I lost like 80 pounds, and then I got down to 132, and then probably like 3 months later, I was gaining weight rapidly. But also, in addition to everything else, I had birth control called the Implanon, and it was really horrible. It messed my hormones up. It made me very depressed, and I didn't even know that was what was causing all those issues. So that, coupled with already bad eating habits, and I'm a really bad emotional eater still, so I have to be careful and watch it and eat things that are more healthy whenever I do want a snack. So anywho, around that time, I had lost all that weight. I was starting to gain it back, and I gained 100 pounds. So I had lost 80 and I gained 100. So, and this happened within like probably 6 months. So then I started looking into weight loss surgery, and basically I was not at a high enough BMI. So my BMI, I think at the time, was like 39, but I didn't have any comorbidities, meaning that I didn't have high blood pressure or diabetes or anything that would be coupled with already a health risk, being obese. So basically I needed to be in the like 40s. I was like 38 or 39 BMI. So I went to the seminars like they told you, went to 2 or 3 different seminars. basically, if you, from what I know and what my experience is trying to do this so many years, I recently was able to get approved for surgery, got approved, had surgery 7 months ago. But it took me 10 years to even get the opportunity, which is unfortunate. So I'm glad to be able to share this with whoever needs to hear this or who's ever looking for this information. Also, I have a few questions that were asked, so I want to make sure I hit those questions before this video is over. I'm hoping this video is not going to be forever because it is like 12:46 midnight. So anyway, basically, I went to the seminar, which is when you go look online to any surgeon site for who does weight loss surgery or who does bariatric surgery, they're going to tell you that you need to go to their seminar. And the seminar basically is like an informational seminar where they tell you every single thing about the process, about getting approved for it and having the surgery and like how your life's going to be afterward. So went to a couple of these seminars, and basically what happens is you go to the seminar, they explain that these are the people that will qualify. So when you're trying to get your insurance to cover it, so I at the time had TRICARE, and TRICARE did cover it, but you had to qualify. So a lot of these doctors want you to go on a 6-month diet to show that you can follow a diet, and they want to see progress. And that was tough for me to hear because I'd already been on these diets, and now you're saying I gotta wait 6 months, and then you have to go to nutritionist, and you have to go, get an endoscopy done. An endoscopy is where they put the tube camera down your throat and they just look and make sure everything looks correct. I'll go over that more in a second, but so the seminar is explaining all of that, and if your insurance gets all these steps, so your insurance wants you to go on this 6-month diet, your insurance wants you to see a psychiatrist or a psychologist to get evaluated mentally to make sure that you are not a person that would be unable to follow the program. So if you are, an emotional eater and you binge eat a lot and you haven't gotten your emotions under control, this is not something that you should do, and they won't approve you. So you have to get that under control first. And this is for insurance purposes. I'll go into self-pay in a minute. But so, again, I'll go over it again. So you're going to have to do the 6-month diet. This is what insurance wants. You're going to have to do the 6-month diet. First of all, you have to qualify. You have to be heavy enough, which I was not fat enough, unfortunately, during that time. And you're going to have to, what's the other thing? I should have wrote this stuff down. So you're going to have to be heavy enough, have a high enough BMI, which is body mass index. And the way that's calculated is by your height and weight. If you go online and you Google BMI calculator, you'll be able to put in your height and your weight, and it'll tell you what your BMI is. So that has to be a certain range. So if it is 39 and under, then you need to have 2 comorbidities, meaning 2 health issues related to being overweight. Sorry, stuff is popping up on my phone. And basically, of course, I didn't have any health issues. I was lucky. So, anyway, so you have to have that. And then you also have to have a psych eval to make sure everything's okay with you and you're a sane person. You understand what you're about to embark on. Make sure you're not already having really bad eating habits that may cause health problems. And then you have to have an endoscopy, And you also have to have a nutrition class. So that's 4 things, I'm pretty sure, or 5 things. You have to qualify, BMI, and have comorbidities. You have to go on a 6-month diet. You have to get an endoscopy done. You have to see a psychologist. And so BMI, 6-month diet, psychologist, nutrition class, and you have to go to the seminar. So you don't really have to count the seminar, I guess. But yes, so those are the things that you have to do normally. That's what normal insurance asks for. And of course, with me, I didn't weigh enough. So literally, I was so devastated that I tried to gain weight and I couldn't. Like, I needed to gain like 5 or 10 pounds. And for me, this was going to be like so life-changing. Like, I was just tired of going up and down in my weight. You know, I had so many issues. I wanted to get a breast reduction years ago, and I didn't qualify because I was overweight, extremely overweight. I was morbidly obese. I'm 5 feet tall. And right now I weigh 157, but at the time I was well over 200 pounds, and I started this journey 7 months ago, 251 pounds. So basically, I couldn't gain the weight, so I didn't qualify. They just flat out said, you don't have any comorbidities. There's nothing that, you don't qualify. Your insurance is not going to cover it. And so I just, went on by my life trying to diet over and over and over and failing, never, keeping it off or not getting as far as I needed to. So let me just check and see what other questions there were. So okay, so yeah, I think I answered all the questions. So basically, I'll go over it again just in case I was talking too fast. You have to go to the seminar. After the seminar, you have to qualify BMI and comorbidities. After that, you have to have a psychological evaluation, and you have to have an endoscopy done, and then you need to have a nutrition class. That's normally with insurance, okay? So now let's talk about self-pay, because the insurance I have currently does not have a bariatric plan where they would cover anything weight loss related, whether the doctor finds it medically necessary or not, right? So in 2019, I had embarked on another weight loss journey. I lost a lot of weight, maybe like 50 pounds, and I got down to like 194. And I maintained that weight for a very long time, which was crazy to me because I had fallen off and I wasn't being strict anymore. And then I didn't gain any weight. So, and it was like 6 months keeping that off. And I think I had stopped losing weight in like April and May. And then I went all the way to like October or whatever. And I hadn't gained any weight. So that's 5 months, I think. So it was crazy to me that I was able to do that. I was able to control my portions. I was able to just be happy with eating like a normal person and not eating late and drinking water, taking my vitamins and everything. So basically, life happened. And, I've suffered with depression. I've expressed this many times, but I'll say it again. I've suffered with depression most of my life. So a lot of my coping mechanisms are, eating things really late at night, or eating things that are bad, or eating too much of something, or eating just because. And, I depended on food. So for me, you know, anything bad happened in my life at the end of 2019, I was just going through a lot. So I ate. Then I got pregnant in April the next year, 2020. And I got up to, at the end of the pregnancy, got up to 251 with my last child, Louis, who is my fourth child. And so with that, even though like I didn't feel a lot bigger, I was 251 pounds, and I was just like, this is crazy. And of course, right after you have the baby, you lose a little bit of weight, but I gained it right back because I was doing the same things. So let's fast forward to the summer of 2021. And I had been talking about, I really want to do it. I really want to look into it, weight loss surgery again. I had heard about TLC surgery, Texas Laparoscopic Consultants, and I had saw a commercial. I was like, I'm gonna look into that because they're saying that you can do a self-pay and I don't have to go out through all this insurance stuff. That's what I was thinking. So I was like, I don't know. And we were about to move. We were about to sell our house and move. And I was just like, I don't know, maybe it's not a good time. So I looked into it, I called them, and the process was really simple. Basically, because of the pandemic, it made it a little bit easier. So I talked to the doctor on Zoom, and immediately, we were talking. He got my stats, my height, my weight, my history. And he basically told me, he was like, I'm surprised that you don't weigh more with your history, because it does seem like you have been trying to lose weight, because you should weigh more if you have the same, especially being 5 feet tall, 250 pounds. Like, I'm not supposed to be more than like 125, so that's twice my size that I'm supposed to be. So basically, he was just like completely understanding about like who I was and what was going on with me all these years and how long I had to wait. And he basically said, I think you're a perfect candidate. And, it wasn't all this dilly-dally, like, you have to do this, and this. They explained to me their requirement, and this is the self-pay option. Their requirement was to put down, I believe, $500 deposit. The surgery that he told me which surgery, he asked me which surgery I thought would work best for me. And I thought the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, because it was less invasive. There are different surgeries that you can choose from. Right now, the most popular is the vertical sleeve gastrectomy and the RNY, where they reroute your intestines. That's much more extensive, and that is for it is fit for a certain person. So if that's what your health issues require, that's what they'll recommend. For me, I didn't have any other health issues or hormone issues or anything like that. I just was morbidly obese, right? So he asked me, and I said the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, and of course he was like, I think that is great. That I think that will work best for you. So the vertical sleeve gastrectomy is not as permanent as other surgeries. So over time, my stomach will go back to normal. And that can be scary, because here you've had this surgery and then you just go back to normal. But the point is to have the surgery, change your habits, develop better habits, and keep going with that and keep the weight off, right? It is not easy, of course. But so he told me I had to do, it wasn't a 6-month diet, because I told him my history, and obviously I know how to diet, and I just need to keep it off, right? So I had to do a nutrition class. I had to get an endoscopy done. I had to do my deposit, and I had to have a psychologist evaluation. The evaluation with the psychologist was very easy, very simple. She basically, just asked me about my past of eating habits and did I understand what the surgery was going to entail. And I explained, oh, yes, it's been so many years researching this and I fully understand what I'm about to take on. And then, the nutrition class was explaining where you are now, where you'll be right before surgery with the liquid diet that you have to do. You have to do a liquid diet. My liquid diet was 2 weeks. Some people's liquid diet's a week. The reason why you have to do a liquid diet is so that your liver is small enough during surgery so that it doesn't get damaged. Having weight loss surgery is not something simple and cute. It is literally a tool. I say this all the time. If you want to have weight loss surgery, I will say, of course, don't just listen to me. Do your own research. Talk to your physician, your doctor, and make a decision, because I went back and forth for years. I was just like, oh, I don't think I should get my stomach cut up, like, sometimes. And then I'm like, but how many years have I been wasting, right? So when I had my surgery, I actually had a few complications. One of them being that they found that my liver had not shrank like it was supposed to. Even though I went on a 2-week liquid diet, I didn't cheat. And it was found that I had liver failure. And I had never had any health issues before that or anything. I had not known anything. I had just had a baby. I had all these blood works, different blood work done. Never had this being said to me. So that was eye-opening. And, of course, after surgery, you are still on liquid diet. Mentally, it's really difficult. Other people around you are eating. You're drinking liquids, eating Jell-O, broth. It's miserable. It is for a while. It's miserable. And then you can go on to the next stage and the next stage. Now, 7 months post-op, I can eat almost anything that I want. But you have to make healthy choices. And some days it's hard. And there are plenty of people who stretch their stomach back out. There are plenty of people who have gastric bypass and they stretch their stomach back. Even though everything's rerouted, they still, might gain weight back. So, I made a video earlier today about, people think that it's so easy. Oh, it's fine. Of course you lost this weight because it's so easy, but it's a tool. It's not easy. The surgery itself was extremely painful for me. Like I thought I was gonna die the first 2 days, and it was just trapped air. And I had 4 C-sections, 2 of which were scheduled. So the recovery is a little different with those, but I had 2 emergencies as well. And I feel like the feeling after surgery was worse after having weight loss surgery. But I would not change it. I would do it again. I've lost a significant amount of hair. My hair was really long before I started this journey again, and a lot of it fell out, and I had to cut it slowly, and then I finally cut it all off, or most of it off. But, ultimately, I wouldn't change anything. I would do it again because it has given me a piece of my life back that I didn't realize I was missing, and I can be there in a different way for my kids. I have a child with special needs, and if you know anything about that, it's very difficult to physically handle a child that's getting older with special needs. My son has severe autism, and he has a lot of aggression, and when I weighed more, it was so physically demanding to handle him when I needed to. Now, it's still physically demanding, but it's easier for me. I don't go to bed with my back aching anymore. I do still have back pain because I need a breast reduction, but that's a whole nother video. But I wouldn't change anything. So I hope I've answered y'all's questions. If you have any questions, please let me know. You can private message me, you can comment or whatever. And, you know, I will answer. I can answer you. I can message you. I can make another video, which is why I made this video. I had a lot of questions, and you know, I'm just answering them like this. I want to make sure actually that I went over all the questions, because someone asked me a question earlier, and it was right before I actually had. Okay, let me see. Yeah, so there was another question. What is VSG? So VSG is vertical sleeve gastrectomy, and that's where they cut your stomach. They cut 75% of your stomach off, and you can lose up to 75% of your excess weight. I have surpassed my 75% because I have been working extremely hard. And to be honest, after the 4th or 5th month, the weight loss slows down a lot. And just like any weight loss journey, your body gets used to it, and then you have to figure out how to, you know, keep it kick started, basically. But yeah, your belly, your stomach is gonna be the shape of a banana, and it's gonna be really small, especially in the beginning, because it's gonna be so swollen, and you're gonna have to only have liquids. And I would say my biggest advice to everybody, whether you are just about to start or you're still you're in your journey, or wherever you are, water is very important. I did not drink enough water in the beginning, and also vitamins are important. I recently was vitamin deficient. That's something else that I forgot to say. They talk about that in any nutrition class, but vitamins. The vertical sleeve gastrectomy, it's important you do vitamins, but not as long term as if you did gastric bypass, because they're rerouting everything, so you have to depend on vitamins for the rest of your life. With the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, it's probably for about 3 to 5 years, until you're able to eat the bulk amount of food that you need to get the nutrition. So I'd say vitamins is very important. Vitamins and water. Vitamins and water. Water is extremely important to get that water in. You're not going to lose hardly any weight without the water. You'll end up in the hospital after surgery if you don't drink enough water. I was very close. A lot of times I was dehydrated because I was just doing too much, trying to do too much and not drink any water. Protein is also important, especially at the beginning, because you are going to be losing weight so fast that you are going to also lose some muscle, and you want to retain as much muscle as you can. And then once you can work out, I suggest weightlifting. Leave the cardio alone until you can eat more food. So I hope I answered everything, guys. This is a long video. I really hope this has helped somebody, because whenever I was on my journey, I look for videos like this all the time, and sometimes I have to watch like 20 videos just to get the information I need. But please message me if you have any questions, and also follow me at Natalie_VSG. That's on Instagram and on TikTok. I post a lot of updates there. I post a lot of videos about what I eat, and updates on my journey. My goal is to get to 125, which would put me in a healthy BMI range, and then after that to get to 115 so that I can have skin removal surgery, because I've been wanting it for a very long time. And but yeah, other than that, guys, I'm gonna let y'all go because I need to go to bed. The kids are asleep, and I'm sorry that this video is so late, but thank you so much for your patience. And if you like this video, you know, please like it, and then let me know in the comments. Also, you can subscribe to the channel, and that'll help me out in the future so I can make more videos. And you can follow me on Instagram or not. It's your choice, you know. I'll love you either way. But bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.